Okay, for today's lesson, we're going to be learning how to solve equations graphically. And we have our steps over here. What we're going to do is we're going to graph the left-hand side of the equation into y1 of our calculator, the right-hand side of the equation into y2, and then find the point of intersection. Now, here's the first note that you want to make. You have to use the x, this button right here, as your variable. So in our sample problem, I want us to solve b over 15 plus 8 equals 23. We have to enter that into our calculator as x over 15 plus 8 equals 23. So what we're going to do is we're going to be pressing the y equals button. Okay, so we want to have as our y1 x over 15 plus 8, as our y2 23. Remember, to get our fraction on our calculator, we press alpha and y equals to have our fraction template set up for us. So now what we want to do is we want to graph this and find the point of intersection. Now when you start graphing, what usually is the first step is to use the standard viewing window, which is zoom, and then option 6. But you should know going into this that the standard viewing window is not going to work. Now, why shouldn't it work? Well, look at your y2 equation. You're saying y2, you're graphing the equation, y is equal to 23. So you have to have a viewing window that's big enough so that the equation y equals 23 gets graphed. So what you want to do is you want to adjust your viewing window. Okay, so you see the viewing window that I'm using here. I made my y min and y max negative and positive 25, so that way y equals 23 fits on the screen. Now, that's usually the easiest thing to do. Look at your biggest number in the problem and set your maxes to negative and positive bigger than that 23. So that's why I went with 25. The hardest part about the problem is to figure out what your x min and what your x max should be. Because remember, what you're trying to do is you're trying to solve for x. So your x min and your x max have to have the solution in that range. And I have no idea going into this problem what my answer is for x because I'm trying to solve for x. So what I decided to do was kind of guess and check. I started off letting x be the standard viewing window to go from negative 10 to positive 10, but you don't see the point of intersection. That's how you solve these problems. You try to find the point of intersection. So the hardest part about the problem is to do guess and check for your x's until you find that point of intersection. And you see how I had to go all the way out to 300 on my viewing window because my point of intersection was way off to the right of the screen. Now what we want to do is tell the calculator to find the point of intersection. So we're going to go to second and then trace for calculate. We're going to go down to option 5 for intersect. And then you basically press enter 3 times. So what you do is you go to second and trace, option 5 for intersect, and then the key to the problem is just pressing enter 3 times. Okay, so when we press enter 3 times, our calculator is going to tell us the point of intersection, which is 225, 23. And we're solving for x. So the x value of the point of intersection is your answer. So here our answer is x is equal to 225. So that's how you go about solving an equation graphically. And if this would have been an algebra problem, remember how we would have solved this equation by using algebra is we would have subtracted 8 on both sides. So I have x over 15 equals 25 minus 8 is 15. And then I would have multiplied both sides by 15 to make the denominator cancel. And algebraically, notice you get the same answer of 225. So this is how we're going to go about solving equations graphically.